Hey guys, so we forgot to start recording and we kind of went and got ahead a little bit. What we did is we cut right here. There used to be a like a gusset thing. I don't know if y'all can see that. We ended up cutting that out. Same on the other side. If you're doing a swap on a Miata, y'all know what I'm talking about. But got the engine and transmission in. That's where the shifter sits right there. Kind of in the center, a little far back, but that'll work. And right now I'm trying to modify the subframe, cutting that out for the oil pan. And I'm gonna try to make this subframe work. I'm gonna cut it out and then reinforce it back to make clearance for the oil pan. And then if it doesn't work, then I guess I'll just end up having to buy the one that's already made for the LS swap. But I'm gonna try to make this one work. If not, then we'll get a new one. And then we'll make a transmission mount after we get the front of the engine mounted. I'm gonna try to see if I can use those mounts. They might not work, but I might have to get some other universal ones. These are off of a Corvette, so we'll see. We'll figure it out. We ended up taking this out. It's a lot easier to cut that way. But this is what we have to do pretty much. I gotta cut this bottom section. I'm gonna open this up more just to get a little more clearance for the oil pan. And then later I'll go in and box it back in so it's not flimsy like this. Okay guys, so we got it all cut up. Let me get you some light so I can see. I probably can't see. Well, anyways, oil pan fits right here. I'm gonna try to make a triangle right here shape for the engine mount, and then this other side, because I'm gonna use these mounts out of a Corvette. And it's going to be solid mounted, so I'm just going to bolt it directly to that. And this other side though, it's not going to work. I'm going to have to make a plate right here. A plate that, because the steering shaft right there gets in the way. And this would normally be right there, but the steering shaft gets in the way, so I'm gonna have to move it forward and then do the same thing. Make a triangle also to get it mounted, but it looks like these mounts are gonna work, so that means I don't have to buy any new ones. And then we're gonna have to cut down there also for the oil filter. I don't know if you guys can see that. Right there. We're gonna have to cut that to be able to get an oil filter on there. Either that or do a remote style oil filter. And then there's the clearance behind in front of the firewall. And the shifter had to move back just a little bit, so it's not perfectly centered, which is fine with me. I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna cut this homemade hydro brake. I'll cut it and move it back more, probably about right here. Move it a couple inches back just so I don't hit it when I'm going in 6th gear or whatever. But looks like everything is working. So I'm also gonna get a, what's it called, Lexan windshield. I'm gonna try to make one, so hopefully that turns out pretty good. And then I gotta order a new slip yoke for the back of the transmission. Whenever I took this transmission out, I didn't even think about it. I ended up leaving the 350Z drive shaft. I could have taken that yoke, but now I have to buy another one. And then I'll start working on making mounts for the diff. By the way, they make all of this, but I'm gonna try to do it as budget as possible. Try to make my own stuff. But if I can, then I'll just buy the actual mounting kit for it. But that mounting kit does come with 600 horsepower axles though, so I don't know. I'm thinking about buying that whole mounting kit. If not, I'll get a hold. They're made by drive shaft shop, so I'll get a hold of them and see if they can make me just the axles, and then I'll make my own mounts. But yeah, other than that, and I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure the sway bar is gonna hit right here, so I'm not gonna run the front sway bar for now until I figure something out. Maybe I'll move it. No, I don't know. We'll see. But and here's the clearance under the car. Let me get you a better shot of that. Yeah, I don't stick down too low. It's probably about 1 inch down past the subframe, but, and maybe I can lift the engine up a little bit more. I also don't want the top of the transmission to be rubbing on the transmission tunnel, so I haven't gotten underneath to check any of that, so I still have to do that. But right now I got it in there and it's looking pretty good. So this is what that adapter plate's gonna look like. I had to move from the original bolt holes. I had to move it over 2 1/4 inches forward. So I'm gonna cut this out and drill those holes out and see how it turns out. What's up, guys? We're back again. So I got quite a bit of work done on this thing off camera, and just because I wanted to focus more on actually getting it done, and I tend to forget to record things, so let me show you what I got. So the diff is actually, or the engine is mounted on the K-frame. There's the mounts right there that I made for it. Here's the other one. Looks like it's gonna work. We'll see once I get it running. And then also got the diff mounted, the 8.8 rear end. Got it in there. Made some mounts for it also. See if I can show you those. And this back plate that I welded to the subframe, and it bolts to the back of the diff cover right there. And that's 1/2 inch plate, so hopefully it'll hold. What I have seen is I've seen some of these diff covers break, so I'm not sure how strong this is gonna be, but I'm gonna run it like that for now. Once my clutch comes in, I'm waiting on my flywheel now, and then what else? My flywheel, I have my pressure plate and my friction disc, and then the bearings here. So I'm just waiting on my flywheel now, and I can install the transmission to the engine, or bolt it to the engine, and then I can measure out for a drive shaft and get one made. And then what else? Right now I'm gonna wash the engine. It's got some oil where I flipped it upside down, to change the oil pan, so some oil leaked all over it. I also ordered a new intake from Summit. It's a Summit brand, so I try to get the cheapest one, good looking one still, that I could find, just, you know, to replace this. I don't like how this one looks. So but I got that coming. I'm gonna use these injectors for now, until I can order some Holley injectors. So I gotta order also water pump, the Camaro F-body Camaro water pump, and F-body accessories, harmonic balancer. For now, just so I can fire it up, I'm gonna use these manifolds, just flip them up, that way they don't hit anything, because I don't think these will clear the transmission tunnel and all that in the firewall. So I'm just gonna point them up like this and then just extend, just add another tube right here. That way I can put my O2 sensor, because I gotta have like at least a foot or two after the O2 sensor, otherwise it'll read lean. But yeah, so I'm gonna fire it up like that with just these manifolds, and then once this thing is running, then I'm gonna, hopefully it runs, then I'm going to actually start building headers for it. I had the transmission mount made, so everything is solid. There is no, you know, rubber or polyurethane bushings. Right now I actually gotta cut some holes in the bottom of the transmission mount, which is this right here. Right here I gotta cut some holes because it's a pain to get the bolt in here that bolts to the transmission. And so I'm gonna cut some big holes down here to where the socket will fit with the bolt. That way it just makes things a whole lot easier. But other than that, I mean, this thing actually turned out pretty good. Transmission sits in there pretty straight. I did have to put a 1/2 inch plate right there, kind of like an adapter, because for some reason, I don't know if it's just the way this transmission is, the engine was sitting on there pretty level and the transmission shifter was pretty straight, but the mount on bottom is actually kind of turned to the side like that a little bit. So I don't know what that's about. So I did have to put this 1/2 inch plate on here. Now, so I still gotta paint all this after I cut it. But that's pretty much all we've done. Oh, also got a line made for the clutch throw bearing. So I got this line made that reaches over to the clutch master cylinder, which I had. This is the same one that I put on the RX-8. I ordered one and they actually ended up sending me two. So forgot where I ordered this from. I think it was from Henson Motorsports. But it actually didn't fit what I had to do. If you can see right there, I don't know if you can see that on the bolt right there, I had to on the bolt right there, I had to notch it or cut it out that way, because these bolts were actually a little too far open, and all I had to do is just cut that out and it fit in there pretty good. So this is all ready to go. Got that mounted. I got the engine off of the K-frame, and here's a better look at those mounts that I made for it. So I kind of just triangulated that right there. Same with this one, except this one I had to clear the steering rack. So that triangle that I made for it actually is a little bit further back. So this one's probably not as strong as this one, but we're gonna run it like that anyways. Some parts came in, the intake came in. We're still waiting on the throttle body, and the flywheel comes in tomorrow. But for now, we're gonna swap. We're gonna put the intake on, take this one off, and then we got the fuel rails also. Now, I ordered this one from Summit. It's a Summit brand intake, fabricated intake. Summit fuel rails. Let me unbox this for you. Pull this box out. There's the intake. I already took it out of the packaging. It's pretty good packaging that they send with it. But, honestly, I like this paint better than the one that I got for the RX-8 from Phytech. This one's anodized black, and it faded away. Like, it actually looks like a brownish color. It don't look black anymore. But I don't know if you guys can see that. But yeah, this Summit one's a lot better. It looks the same. This one's actually taller. But oh, and then this one doesn't have the intake air temperature sensor welded to it here. The bung for it. So I'm gonna have to get that welded onto it. Where this one actually does have it on there. As you can see right there. This one right here. So I'm gonna have to order a bung with that same thread and get that welded on there. But other than that, it's got it has the port for the map sensor. The Holley ECU comes with an internal map sensor in the computer, but it's only a 1 bar, and I'm putting a 3 bar back here. So that's cool that that comes with it. That just doesn't come with that port or that bung for the intake air temperature sensor. And other than that, everything looks good on it. Good, looks like pretty good quality. Now I don't know if this will fade also, but I guess we'll see over time. Here's what it looks like in the sun. See, because this one actually looks black, not like the other one. See, you guys can tell the difference. There's that one, and then the Summit one, which it's got no branding on it or nothing, but it's pretty much the same thing, same exact thing. It looks the same. It looks exactly the same on the inside, which y'all can't really see it, but this one is taller than that one. But for this one, I had to get the shorter intake because it would hit the hood up here. I actually had to cut this out because of the throttle body, but it barely cleared it. This one, I wanted to get a taller one, just so you'll be able to, it's probably gonna sit like this right here. So it's pretty badass. So, oh shit. God. Oh my god. Damn. Nah, we're good. He uses O-rings anyways, so. And then it comes with the hardware. Oh, the little vacuum ports for it, which go underneath it. Same, exactly the same with that other one, with the RX-8 one, or the Phytech one. Comes with the same port, same hardware. There's the O-ring gaskets for it. Oh, it even comes with throttle body gasket. Sweet. There's that one, the intake, and then we got the fuel rails also. Let me unbox those. I need a table. We'll put them right here. So, the fuel rails. Here, hold this. Just regular fuel rail, no brand or nothing. I mean, it's nothing special. And there's your fuel rail. It comes with a -6 line that crosses over. It feels, I guess it's a rubber line inside, so probably wouldn't run E85 through this. I'm sure it'll corrode over time. Comes with the mounting hardware, little brackets for the rail to bolt to the intake, all the bolts, and it actually comes with the AN fittings that you need. I believe these are, yeah, these are -8, but it reduces it down to a -6. So there's that. What is this other one? Oh, it even comes with plugs. So I guess if you're running a returnless system where fuel goes in through one and to the other one, and then you plug in the other side. So it comes with that plug. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's all the parts we got for now. Today I'm supposed to be getting my throttle body coming in, and then what we also did is put this aside real quick. We also started making a template for the Lexan glass that I'm gonna get for this car. But yeah, it's gonna look something like that. But yeah, and then I don't know. I've never messed with Lexan. Lexan. I've never cut it or anything, so I don't know how. I have to figure out how to do that. But so it'll look something like that. What the plan for today is to pull this intake off and then put the new one on. And I think I can use these fuel injectors. I'm gonna try to use these fuel injectors just for now until I can get the Holley ones. But I also have these Phytech ones, which are supposed to be I believe like 55-pound injectors or 57 or something like that. But I mean, I couldn't find these anywhere online, any information on them. So whenever I was gonna tune the car, tune it with the Holley ECU on the RX-8, I wasn't able to find any information on these, like the flow rate and all that stuff. So that's why I went ahead and just bought Holley injectors for that, because it gives you an option to select a custom injector, which this would be, or you can use this part number on the Holley brand ones, and they're already like programmed into the ECU. So all you got to do is select it, or you can use these OEM injectors, which there's a part number on here that you got to look up. It's probably hard to see, but it's right here. Yeah, you just type in that part number, or not type it in. You search it up on the ECU when you're setting it all up, and then they'll be good to go. Because these OEM ones are programmed into the ECU already, so you don't gotta go in and type in all the information, the flow rate and all that on those. Yeah, so we're gonna use these just to fire this engine up, and then later on if we need to, we'll upgrade to bigger injectors. Yeah, so we're gonna get started on this. I'm hoping the throttle body comes in, that way I can have some more stuff to film or more stuff to do. But yeah. Last pump.
There we go.
So that's off. What else? All bolts are off.
And that's all.
Oh crap. Alright. Let's throw in the trash. Oh shit, look at that. It's freaking nasty.
Yeah.
Need some rags. Probably from where we washed it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. They
All
can't
the
get new heads.
engine degrease that we put on here.
Yeah. Damn. You just need to clean the ports. Didn't you say you found the razor? Where's the razor? Or the scraper?
Yeah.
You need a new one. I don't know how many miles this engine had. Whenever I went to pull it out of a junkyard, they had taken the cluster, so I couldn't tell how many miles. It was out of 2005, out of a 2005 Silverado, but I'm guessing, I'm sure this thing had like over 200,000 maybe. But I don't know. The truck was wrecked from the front, so like all the where the radiator area, that was all damaged, but nothing was wrong with this. So alright guys, check this out. We were cleaning up the heads. This is a good idea why you should run a catch can, oil catch can. Check this out. I'm pretty sure this is all oil. That's inside the intake port. That's oil being recirculated back into the intake. I don't know. That's nasty. And they're all like that. Yeah, so that's a good idea to run a oil catch can, because that stuff is not good for the engine. Alright guys, we cleaned the surface here. It's looking pretty good. I didn't try to clean the intake port, the inside. I'm just gonna leave it like that because I'm getting new heads. And they're really bad. Like, this stuff is thick and damn, dude, this thing's gonna look sick. Texas speed valve covers on it.
Yeah. It's gonna look nice.
These didn't come with like any torque specs, right?
I don't think so.
I think that's all that came in the box. Oh, alright guys, so first complaint about this manifold. Not really a complaint, but so that bolt hole right there is way too big for these little lock washers that they send us with this kit or with this manifold. So luckily I had all these right here laying around. But if you guys get this, the Summit intake manifold, you're gonna need to buy some of these. These are 1/4 inch lock washers. But either that or get some regular washers that still fit inside that little groove, or like where it's cut out. Yeah, because these little washers right here are gonna end up getting jammed inside that hole, that bolt hole, because they're so small. But these right here will actually work. So alright guys, we're back. The intake and fuel rails and injectors are all on. Alright, I'm using the OEM ones for now. Yeah, everything went on there pretty good. The only complaint I really had was the washer in here, or the bolt holes were too big. I mean, that was an easy fix. Yeah, I mean, that's about all I can do for right now until that throttle body gets here. And then the flywheel, really need the flywheel to put all this back together. The K-frame and what else? And then measure for a drive shaft. But that's about all I can do for now.